From the Lioness coming back to the UFC to fight against one specific opponent, to Gina Carano sharing her thoughts on the star's return, here's everything you need to know about Ronda Rousey's rumored return to the UFC. Now, it's gotta be said, Rousey was a huge name in the UFC and now in the WWE. Fans have always wondered if she'd ever go back to UFC. For a while, it looked like the chances of Rousey returning to UFC were slim to none, since she actually retired from mixed martial arts after her loss to Amanda Nunes in December 2016. But Ronda did mention that she would consider coming back for one specific fight, and that'd be against Gina Carano, another former Strikeforce star. Rousey made it clear on the Kurt Angle show in 2022 that she really wants to fight Gina. There were a lot of rumors about the two facing off in the past, but nothing ever happened because Carano would always turn down those offers. In an interview with Joe Rogan, Carano explained that she didn't want to fight Ronda Rousey because she felt disrespected by UFC president Dana White. White apparently said something aggressive to her over text messages, and Gina wasn't having it. She decided not to go through with the fight, even though she was excited about being back in the fighting world and thought it would be an exciting opportunity. So it seems like Rousey won't be returning to UFC anytime soon, unless Carano has a change of heart. And to be honest, Ronda's disappearing act was a good choice. She was completely destroyed by Holly Holm in November 2015, and that really messed her up. She did try for a comeback, but it wasn't about her athletic skills anymore. It was about her emotions and confidence. Suddenly, the once unbeatable Rousey became a huge question mark. She didn't show any improvement in her ability to dodge punches, which was a problem in her fight with Holm. She stood there practically asking for trouble, and Amanda Nunes was happy to oblige. She hit Rousey with a left hook that rocked her, and then followed up with a series of powerful rights. To her credit, Rousey showed a lot of heart, just like she did in her fight with Holm. But she didn't do enough to avoid getting pounded. Punch after punch landed on her, and she somehow managed to stay on her feet, wobbling and unable to defend herself. Fans couldn't get what went wrong. It was hard to imagine Rousey bouncing back from that. The beating was way worse than the one that sent her into a downward spiral last time. She had other options outside of the fighting world, like a career in Hollywood and other businesses. Plus, she earned a ton of money from the fight, so she didn't really need to go through all that again. So, Rousey made it clear that mixed martial arts wasn't a priority for her anymore, and she went on to retire from UFC, but then stepped into WWE. This was Rousey's key to reigniting her career. With her last fight leaving her stumbling and battered, she didn't seem to fit in the octagon anymore. But there was another world waiting for her where she could rebuild herself, remain a pop culture sensation, and create new chapters in her legacy. Rousey's charm and that special something about her guaranteed success in the WWE. Even with her losing streak, she was a valuable asset. The squared circle offered her a chance to thrive again. She's always had a deep admiration for the world of wrestling. Rousey said that her nickname, Rowdy, was inspired by WWE Hall of Famer Roddy Piper. She even tried out some wrestling moves with fellow MMA fighter Shayna Baszler. Winning a WWE championship had been a dream of hers as well, and WWE had been more than happy to welcome her with open arms. She became part of the show at WrestleMania 31 when The Rock called her into the ring to help him deal with Triple H and Stephanie McMahon. Ronda showed her skills by flipping the game over and putting McMahon in a hold. As a part-time star, she's made an impact in WWE's groundbreaking women's division. Instead of continuing her downward spiral in MMA, she rose again like a phoenix in a fresh and controlled environment. But even that didn't last long. Since she one day just stopped appearing in WWE, fans haven't seen her since she lost the SmackDown Women's Championship to Charlotte Flair at WrestleMania Backlash in May 2022. There are a few reasons why she might have taken a break from the company. First, she was pregnant. Rousey and her husband, UFC fighter Travis Browne, shared the news in April 2022 that they were expecting their first child. That's probably the main reason why she hasn't been around in WWE. Second, she wasn't happy with how her character is being handled by the creative team. Plus, she might just want to take a break from wrestling altogether. It's possible that Rousey wanted to focus on other things right now, like her family or her acting career. But hey, now that Nunes has announced her retirement, UFC is really lacking a star in the featherweight, and Rousey could potentially fill that position. At least that's what John Anik thinks. The promotion is in some serious need of female stars, They might try to convince Rousey to come out of retirement, especially after the WWE merged with UFC in a massive $21 billion deal. Even experts have started weighing in on the chances and conditions of her return. So, there was this interview with MMA Fighting, right? They were talking to Jon Anik and asked him about Ronda Rousey possibly making a comeback. And get this, man, with Endeavor snagging up the WWE where Rousey's currently doing her thing, Anik thinks the universe is practically begging for her return. He said that if anyone is worthy of that time of opportunity, it's probably Ronda Rousey. He even said that he believes she would be competitive because she would not enter that setting without the guarantee that she would be competitive. On the flip side, Anik doesn't seem to be fully on board with the concept of giving Ronda Rousey an instant crack at the now vacant title. He appears to have reservations about the idea, suggesting that there might be other deserving fighters who should have a shot at the championship before Rousey jumps back into the mix. I don't know about that, but he's right about one thing. Now is definitely the right time. He doesn't claim that Rousey would be a favorite against fighters like Juliana Pena or Raquel Pennington, but he understands why people would be excited at the possibility. He doesn't want a repeat of what happened with Henry Cejudo, who jumped ahead of other contenders upon his return. Anik also doesn't want to be hypocritical by supporting Rousey's immediate elevation. There are deserving title challengers in the bantamweight division, although Rousey isn't currently one of them, but who knows what the future holds. And now, even Carano has tossed her hat into the ring. She responded to Ronda about their potential fight. Sure, Carano hasn't been in a fight for more than 10 years, but she's open to the idea of returning to the cage if her opponent is Ronda. Gina responded to Rousey's recent statement that Carano is the only fighter who could bring her out of retirement. During an interview on Fox News, Carano said, "You never know. It could happen, but it would be about 6 months from now because I have a lot of things to take care of." Although Gina hasn't officially retired from fighting, her last appearance was in 2009 when she suffered a TKO loss to Chris Cyborg in Strikeforce. Since then, she has focused on her acting career and appeared in notable movies like Haywire, Fast and Furious 6, and Deadpool. While Rousey is currently a big name in WWE and a women's champion, she expressed her willingness to fight Carano in the octagon. She said on Kurt Angle's podcast that she'll fight Gina wherever Gina wants. Even if it's not forever, the offer will be there. It's a matter of respect, not like a "screw you, I'm coming to get you" kind of thing. Ronda just wants her to know that if she ever wants to make that happen, she's ready. And hey, if a real fight doesn't materialize, Carano is also open to collaborating with Rousey on a scripted project in the future. She mentioned her desire to create, direct, and produce, and even offered Rousey a role in one of her movies. So there might be other ways for them to work together. From Gina Carano sharing her thoughts on the UFC star's return, to the Lioness coming back to the UFC to fight against one specific opponent, this was everything you needed to know about Rousey's rumored return to the UFC.